Hello, race fans. I'm Danny Padilla, and you are chilling with the villain. Me, I'm hanging out in my shop, and we're going to talk about the 2023 chiliBowl Nationals and a little bit about my experience with Tanner Holmes this week. So, anyways, I'm wearing my Swindell Speed Lab shirt in honor of the winner, Logan Seavey, who picked up the win and a driller trophy over the weekend, which is something very hard to do. So, my hat's off to that team. From what I understand, it has been 11 years since they've had a team member in the winner's circle for the chiliBowl. So now I want to talk a little bit about Tanner Holmes. So Tanner Holmes came in not knowing what to expect. He got to only practice one time. If you've watched his videos, you can follow him all through that journey. Anyways, he only got to practice one time in another state. He showed up here just a week before he showed up. He went to Shawnee, Oklahoma for a kart race and led that thing from wire to wire, picking up $2,500. Oh, I'm sorry, $5,000 and $2,500 for $50 per lap for every lap that he led. So he was able to pick up $7,500 a day before arriving to the chiliBowl. So congratulations, Tanner, for that. So anyways, he got there and he got lucky. So he got a good pill draw that put him on the pole position. And I say lucky because when you've got 630 cars show up, you need all the luck you can get. Pill draw and passing points are everything. And like he said in our past video, if you're starting on the pole, you pretty much got to win it in order to advance forward in a preliminary or a main for that night. So he was able to do that. So anyways, he started on the pole, and I watched his video. I wasn't there, so I watched his video, and I had spoke to him about how he looked like he didn't really have a handle on the car. And I misspoke because that was my first video and first interview in a very long time. So I kind of misspoke. I didn't really mean that he didn't have a handle on the car. What I really meant was that he looked like he was searching a lot, that he wasn't completely comfortable and that he was still searching. Now, mind you, he had won that race by a half a lap. So the kid was getting it, okay? So handle, no handle, he drove the car. He had never been in it, and he was able to hold off eight or nine other cars and capture that win. So my congratulations to him for that. In his preliminary, I didn't get to see it, so I can't really talk about it, but he made it to the main event. He started midfield. He got into a car and put it on its lid. He was able to start from the very back of the pack and work his way up to 13th. So like he said, he was -5 spots from where he started, and that put him in the C main. So he has to wait. He ran Monday night. He had to wait until Saturday before he ran again. Now, mind you, these track conditions change over and over and over again nightly. This track is known for being dry slick with a cushion, and just so happened, right before he went out for his C main event, they soaked the track. Now, I'm assuming that they did not make any changes because they didn't realize how much water they had put on the track. But when they got out there, it was really juiced up, as he said. So it was really wet. I'm sure that the car wasn't really set up for that, and he wasn't prepared for that. So he started out pretty good. He didn't do anything extravagant, but again, he's still searching for some grip. He's searching for spots. He's searching for an opening. And I was there live for that race, and he was in traffic from the get-go. They were running 2 and 3 wide, and there was nowhere for him to go. He had a car check up in front of him or slide him or something like that, and it caused him to check up. And when he checked up, the other cars behind him were full throttle, and they just blazed right by him, putting him toward the back. Now, does that make him a bad driver? Absolutely not. It was just a mishap. It doesn't take much to go back a spot or two or even 3, 4, or 5. And if you think that you can just bulldog your way through back to the front, it's not that easy because you're on a very small track and at a very high speed. Now, I know that he had said in our interview that these cars don't seem to be as fast as they look. But I guarantee you, for the size of the track, it's probably the fastest he's ever been on a track that is so short, even though he felt comfortable with the speeds. But what he wasn't comfortable with was how wet it was. So he just got a bad break, and that's that. This is a kid that is used to driving sprint cars with a big, big, big wing on top of the car. You guys know. And his car also has a wing. So when you have a wing and you go into the corner, the car acts way different than if it didn't have a wing. So the main thing is when that wing's there. So imagine driving down the road, put your hand out, and the wind catches your hand and pulls your hand back. The faster you go, the harder it is to keep your hand still. So that's the same thing when you're driving these cars and you throw it in. That wind catches the wing and pushes back. It lays pressure onto that left rear, and you're driving off the left rear. Without a wing, when you go into the turn, you're used to what they call rollover. It rolls over onto that right rear, and you power through. Okay, that's something in my modified here behind me. That's what I'm used to. I am used to a heavy track. I'd rather have a heavy track. I'd rather have my car roll over. I can fill the car, I can drive the car, and it's just hammer down. So the difference between driving on a dry slick track and a heavy track, when you're on a dry slick track, you have to feather the throttle. You cannot just be hammer down. You have got to trail brake, which is something very hard to pick up. You've got to be easy and roll into the throttle when you're coming off the corner. That's on a dry slick track. When you're on a tacky track, you throw that car in sideways and hammer down. No two ways about it. You're on and off the gas so quick, you just go in there, set the car off and right back on, and it picks up, lays over on that right, and drives you out of the corner. So that's kind of the racing I'm used to. He was not used to that type of driving because he always drives with a wing. So how was his performance overall? I got to say it was excellent. He did an excellent job. And like I said, he's going to get better and better. He's going to get more laps in this car. He's going to learn how to drive the different conditions. But for this particular weekend, luck was not on his side, and he just didn't have quite the handle on the car, and it probably didn't handle the way he wanted it to in his C main, and he wasn't able to make it. But you have to realize there was B through O. He could have been anywhere in that mix. 631 cars, and he started in the C main. What are you going to do? He did better. He did better than probably 550 cars, 550 people that showed up. When you figure you're entering a field of 631 cars of some of the best drivers from around the country and in other countries. People came from Canada and other places. So Australia. So when you think about it, 631 cars show up, only 24 of them make the main event. That means 600 of them going home. See you later. Thanks for coming. I think you did pretty good. I'd love to see your comments below. Make sure and like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I've got a couple more videos I want to talk about the Chili Bowl, and they'll come out shortly in the next couple of days, so look forward to them. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. Tell your friends about it. I'm just now starting out. This is my first week with my vlogs, so I appreciate you telling a friend and getting some more subscriptions for me. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm Danny Padilla, and you just chilled with the villain. Peace out.